From one sparring partner being hurt to the next, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. That's right. Ian
doesn't care about black people.
Machado Garry breaks Chris Curtis's ribs in sparring. It was later revealed that his ribs aren't broken, but one was potentially dislocated. We will see the video here in a sec, folks. It's actually insane. Don't go anywhere. Hang till the end. You do not want to miss this. This video was a little bit, I don't want to hype it up too much to say it was the craziest thing I've ever seen, but it was crazier than I thought upon reading what happened in the situation, and this is the situation. Ian Garry posts a bunch of content on his social media and a lot of series of content as well. His social media is actually really good. All his pages, his YouTube, everything, they do a good job of capturing and producing really good content of him leading up to fights, vlog content, the whole 9 yards. One series in particular, anyways, I should say, is him training in multiple gyms, him training with multiple different faces in the world of mixed martial arts and the UFC. In his latest episode, he brings in Chris Curtis for sparring in Florida. Curtis is a beast, ladies and gentlemen. Upon getting hurt, he insists on continuing. And when I read that in this article, I was like, okay, like, you know, fighter be like, oh, let's keep going. No, Chris Curtis is straight up, he's a beast. He's straight up a beast. I understand why him and Sean Strickland are friends. Let's watch it here, guys. I know Chris Curtis is not everyone's cup of tea, but I like how he is the yin to Sean Strickland's yang. And though he kind of bitches and complains on Twitter, I just try to ignore that. That's one thing that I understand why people don't like about him, but I like his story. I think he's tough. And it's just things like this video that I'm like, this is why I'm a fan. Whenever I'm like doubting, like, oh, am I really a fan of Chris Curtis? Like, he's kind of like, I see his Twitter rants, it's kind of sus, or kind of, as Rigo said, this ain't based at all. But then I see things like this and I'm like, whether it's stupid or not, I respect the gladiator spirit.
Good? I think separated my rib. Oh, no. You good? Oh, it's still moving. Take a breath. Oh, hold on. I feel it moving. Oh. Here? Yeah, I didn't separate that rib. Give it a sec. Oh. Good breath, bro. That second one I took in was your elbow. No, it like rolled. Take a breath. No.
Come on, let's go. I love this.
No. Stop it. No. Come on. Bro, I'm gonna jump the fuck out of the ring, man. Come on. Listen, it's a rib. I know it's a rib. Listen, Layla, make him fight. Make him fight.
So that's Ian Machado's wife there. He's like, make him fight.
It's a rib. You're fighting.
It's just a rib.
It's a rib. Listen to me. I got 6 weeks.
I got 6 weeks. Someone, yeah, he's fighting in 6 weeks.
No, I know you got 6 weeks. Ian, buddy, come on. No, come on. Finish the round. You're gonna come in and
finish the round, dude. Yes, let's go, man.
Action. Finish the round. Stand him in the next. Trust me. This is where.
Chris Curtis is not used to Ian Garry be like, it's okay, brother, because Sean would be like, pussy, let's go. It's just a rib, Chris. It's just a rib. Come on, it's a cage fight. Let's go. So that's what he's used to, right? Where Ian Garry's like, oh, it's okay, bro. We don't have to go. No, Chris Curtis, he just sees white boy in front of him, and he's not hearing what Ian Garry's saying. He's hearing what Sean Strickland would say, I think.
This is where you being smart is what's gonna get you to the top 5, the belt, all that. You don't.
I love how just he like clicks right back into it.
Good back, bro. Took in was your elbow. No, it's old. Take a breath. No.
Come on.
No. What's left in the round? No.
What's left in the round?
Bro, I'm gonna jump the fuck out of the ring, man. Come on, it's a rib. I know it's a rib.
It's a rib.
Listen, Layla, make him fight. You're too tough. Make him fight. It's a rib. You're fighting. It's a rib. Listen to me. I got 6 weeks.
I got 6 weeks.
I know you got 6 weeks. Ian, buddy, come on.
Come on, man.
You're gonna come in the next. Finish him in the next. Trust me.
Oh my God. Gotta love it. Chris Curtis, he is fighting in 6 weeks, like he said, against Anthony Hernandez. So not the biggest competition. Now, look, Anthony Hernandez, he does have a good record right now, 11-2. He is 29 years old. He is an up-and-comer. So I don't want to go as far as to say he's a prospect. He's a younger fighter coming up that I don't think, I mean, I reserve the term prospect for someone who I actually think is going to be, like, in the top 15. You know what I mean? Like, someone who's actually going to be good. I say it in other sports as well. Like, I'm not going to say, like, a really good prospect in hockey when it's just another third-line hockey player who's good, not great, maybe can help a team win a Stanley Cup, but isn't a top prospect that, like, we're keeping tabs on. And that's kind of how I feel about Anthony Hernandez. His nickname has to go, Fluffy. Like, I'm sorry, you can't be a fighter and have the name Fluffy. So yeah, Chris Curtis is booked to face Anthony Hernandez September 16th at a UFC Fight Night. As we can see here, Hernandez 2 KO, TKO, 7 submissions, 2 decisions, 5-2 in the UFC. So not a bad UFC run thus far. Another reason why I wouldn't call him a prospect. 1-0 in LFA, and yet a no contest on Contender Series. Just look at the last few guys that he's beaten. Edmund Shabazian, not a good win. He did beat Marc-Andre Barriault, which that was a really good win. But I do want to highlight that Marc-Andre Barriault clearly won the first and second round and was actually pushing the pace in this third round before getting caught. Like, Marc-Andre Barriault was on his way to a win before getting caught here, but a win's a win. Josh Frem, we saw Josh Frem kind of sucks. Rodolfo Vieira, 7-0, so I'll give him that. The guy's got good submissions, lost Kevin Holland, no shame in that. Beat Jung Young Park, which again, Jung Young Park, very good, like, very good everywhere, not great everywhere, but when you beat Jung Young Park, okay, there's something there. Beat Brendan Allen in LFA, solid win there. Had a decent amateur career going 9-1. I do think Chris Curtis, assuming his ribs okay, can get this one done. His takedown defense is very, very good. I think it was only in his last fight. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was his last fight. It was the only time he was taken down in the UFC. It might have been the fight before then. It might have been against Gastelum, which, by the way, this fight against Gastelum, like, people were saying was potentially fight of the year. That was a damn good fight at the time. I mean, there's been better fights since then. Obviously, Chris lost that one. It was either in the Maba fight or the Gastelum fight. But I know up until one of those last 2 fights, he'd never been taken down in the UFC yet. Take that for what it's worth against a guy like Hernandez, who is a submission specialist. Let's see how good of a wrestler he is. At the very least, let's see how good his jiu-jitsu takedown game is. I give Chris Curtis the edge in this one, but for me, it all comes to if Hernandez can take him to the ground. If Hernandez can take him to the ground, it's a very dangerous place to be. If Chris Curtis can keep this on the feet, I do think Chris Curtis will outstrike Hernandez. Hernandez, look, I'm assuming here based on his last name, he may have Mexican heritage, but he was born in the USA, which means he ain't got that Mexican stand-up like we saw in that top-ranked boxing match. Let me know in the live chat. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win this one, and if you think Chris Curtis will be okay in 6 weeks upon roughing up his rib against Ian Garry.
Bruh.